Hi everyone, today I want to talk about life after a total thyroidectomy. So as you can see here, I did have my thyroid surgery in August of 2022. I do want to preface by saying my thyroid nodule was actually found by my OBGYN doing an appointment for something else. And in that appointment, she was listening to my symptoms and my concerns, and she felt my neck and she was like, "You have a thyroid nodule, we need to get that checked out." It started this long process, and I had many things that ran through my mind, especially regarding the surgery. Your thyroid is one of your major endocrine systems and organs in your body, and what does that look like, not having that in your system? How is your body going to maintain? Yeah, my light just went away, but we're going to continue. What does that actually look like? So I'll say the biggest things for me since having my thyroid removed, well, within the first week, you're really going to want to make sure that you have a helpful person with you or someone that can help you or drop off food for the first few days. You don't really realize how often you use your neck until you can't use it. You're going to want to make sure that you have a neck pillow. It was really hard for me to just maneuver my neck around the first week. Another thing that was really helpful was a throat lounger. I had a throat spray that just soothed the pain from where the intubator was. Intubator. I had a lot of cough drops. That was really helpful. Soups, soft foods for the first few weeks because your body is being used to the scar tissue or just healing up from things in your muscles. Now, we're almost 6 months out from my surgery, and one of the biggest things I've realized is the first few weeks it was really hard for me to inflect my voice. I didn't have any vocal cord damage, but it was really hard for me to raise my voice in certain conversations or in loud environments. The other thing I noticed is if I'm wearing lots of layers, I'm in a colder environment, I get hot really fast, so I typically get a lot of hot flashes. Something else that I've realized is while I don't have shaky hands anymore, it is still hard for me to kind of maintain, a steady state, if that makes sense. Other things I wish I knew, which that is, it'll be an adjustment. You can't miss your levothyroxine dosage. You can't take coffee within 3 hours. I do want to preface by saying I was already taking levothyroxine prior to my surgery, but now I actually have to take it every day because I don't have a thyroid anymore. The biggest thing that was really helpful to me was asking my surgeon lots of questions prior to the actual surgery. I went in there with at least 30 questions for the woman, and she answered every single one. The biggest thing, how many of these surgeries does she do in a year? That was really important for me, just so I knew I was going to be taken care of during that process. But now that we're 6 months out, I'm still covering it from the sun. That's another thing. You want to cover it from the sun and make sure that you're doing your massages using vitamin E, oils, and all those things. But yeah, the biggest thing, just take your time, take time off from work. Do not think that you're going to be, smooth sailing. Everybody's situation is different, but I recommend taking that time to just heal. Your body just went through something really serious. Setting an alarm to take your medicine. I typically wake up at 6:30 in the morning to take it. That way I can still have my coffee, before I start work. And the other thing is be vocal about, days that you're not feeling okay, days when things might be too much, because your body is constantly changing. I'm going to make another video about, the ways my life maybe changed since my thyroid removal and for my cancer diagnosis, but hopefully this helps someone. I know when I was searching, for videos like mine, there wasn't much out there, so hopefully this is helpful to someone.